Hello, folks. I am Al for today's news. I will be reading and speaking about world news, interesting news, news to keep you entertained, and news to keep you informed. And what I got for you first here is from this probably be the last day I'll be showing about Fox News because I'm gonna protest them anyway. This is from Fox 2 Now out of St. Louis, Missouri. Tucker Carlson and Fox News part ways.
Tucker Carlson has parted ways with Fox News, the network said on Monday. "We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor," the network said in a statement. Carlson's last show was Friday, the network said. Fox said it would air a new program called Fox News Tonight at 8 p.m. starting Monday evening as an interim show helmed by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. Carlson was Fox's top-rated primetime host, netting an average of more than 3 million viewers per night, the most of any pundit on cable television. Carlson's departure from the network came less than a week after it agreed to pay $787.5 million to settle a defamation lawsuit brought by Dominion Voting Systems over coverage of former President Trump's false claims of voter fraud and the company's software. Depositions taken by Dominion's lawyers exposed private communications from top hosts at the network, including Carlson. In one widely publicized text exchange with fellow primetime hosts Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham, Carlson said he hated Trump passionately and called the former president's claims of voter fraud insane. Carlson's show launched in 2016 and regularly featured controversial guests and segments on matters of race, immigration, and other hot political topics of the day. His hour-long opinion program, which featured an opening monologue and guest interviews, often acted as a proving ground for Republican office seekers and conservative activists looking to broaden their reach with voters and donors. Earlier this month, Trump sat for an extensive interview with Carlson, which the former president used to bash Democrats and the media. News of Carlson's departure broke during the network's afternoon Outnumbered program, with host Harris Faulkner echoing the outlet's public statement saying it had been a mutual agreement and thanking Carlson for his work at Fox. During his most recent appearance on the network on Friday, Carlson indicated he expected to be back on its airwaves on Monday. "That's it for us for the week," Carlson said as he signed off. "We'll be back on Monday." Carlson spoke at an event on Friday for the Conservative Heritage Foundation, at which he formerly was a copy editor and fact-checker at the organization's now-defunct Policy Review Quarterly. Heritage President Kevin Roberts said after Carlson's speech, "If things go south for Fox News, there's always a job for you here."
Yeah.
"You've saved me before," Carlson replied.
Okay, I don't believe a lot of the things this article said. I don't think they he left on good terms with them, but that's my thinking. And I don't trust the voting system, no matter who controls it. I haven't voted in like about 30, 40 years, because of that. Last time I voted was when Ross Perot ran. So you know how long it's been. And anyway, I used to like Fox News, but not anymore. I go to CBS, NBC, CNN, and stuff like that, and News Network. Let me go on to the next one now. Now, I told you about, the Chinese want to open a battery plant over in Michigan, 100 miles from the military base over there, training the Taiwans. Well, here's something else for you, too. This is from News Nation. Michigan auto projects draw protests over China connection.
Two different plans for auto battery plants in rural Michigan draw protests. Protesters say China's presence raises national security concerns. A grassroots effort stopped a China-backed project in North Dakota in February.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh.
Nearly 1,000 Michiganders rallied in Grand Charter Township to protest a project by Chinese-owned Godion, planned in Michigan. In February, another controversial project in Michigan drew controversy for its alleged involvement with a Chinese company. During the Saturday protest, residents shared concerns about recent alleged efforts for spying from the Chinese Communist Party. About 100 miles from the planned site of the Godion EV battery factory is Camp Grayling, where the Michigan National Guard is training the Taiwanese military. You don't have to connect too many. See the connection between the Chinese government and the Chinese connection with that. You know, I've been looking and I see spy balloons. Okay, we see TikTok under investigation. We see Xi Jinping meeting with Putin, said John Thorne, a Grand Charter Township resident protesting the plant. But it's not the only electric vehicle factory set to be built in Michigan, raising concerns for its ties to China. In Marshall, Michigan, another rural area of the state, Ford Motor Company is collaborating with a Chinese company, drawing backlash from lawmakers on Capitol Hill. In February, Ford announced a $3.5 billion EV project in connection with Chinese supplier Contemporary Amperex Technology Company. After being questioned about the project by lawmakers, Ford officials clarified that the project was not a joint venture. There will be no foreign investment in the plant. This is not a joint venture. Ford is simply licensing technology to make these batteries. The government of China has no role in the project, and no tax dollars will go to the company licensing us the technology, Chris Smith, Ford's chief government affairs officer, told the Michigan House Appropriations Committee during a February 22 hearing. Last month, a corn mill project by the China-based food producer Fufeng Group was stopped in Grand Forks, North Dakota, after the local city council voted unanimously to end ties with the company. You have to be a voice, you have to have the courage to step forward. You have to form a grassroots group that is willing to fight, said a Grand Forks resident who was protesting the corn mill project by the Fufeng Group. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds, R., and Montana Senator John Tester, D., are now teaming up to pass a bipartisan bill to prevent foreign adversaries from buying American farmland. Those places don't want to see us exist anymore. The last thing we need to do is let them buy up farmland, which is critical to our food security and to our national security, Tester said, announcing the bill. In addition to the bipartisan bill working its way through Congress, 11 state legislatures across the U.S. are considering laws to limit countries like China from purchasing American farmland. China currently controls 384,000 acres of agricultural land in the U.S., with about 3/4 of those being in the South, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
And if we don't put a stop to this, they're going to have to rename this country as the new China, and everybody will be going back in slavery. Let me go to my next one here. This is from USA Today. Ram, Jeep, Chevrolet, and Nissan among 238,000 cars recalled. Check recall cause here, it says.
The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issued multiple vehicle recalls this week, including for possible engine stalls, brakes being damaged, tears in tires, and trucks needing to be parked outside due to potential fire risks. Car owners can check USA Today's automotive recall database or search NHTSA's database for new recalls. The NHTSA website also allows you to search for recalls based on your vehicle identification number, or VIN. 2021 Ram 1500 engine can stall. Chrysler is recalling 131,700 of its 2021 Ram 1500 vehicles equipped with 5.7L e-torque engines. The powertrain control module software on affected vehicles can cause an incorrect fuel mixture in the engine, resulting in an engine stall. Recalled vehicles. 2021 Ram 1500. Chrysler said it is aware of one accident but no injuries potentially related to this issue, and estimates all of the vehicles have the defect. Affected owners will begin to be notified on June 2nd. Dealers will update the powertrain control module calibration software on affected vehicles for free. Owners may contact Chrysler customer service at 1-800-853-1403. Chrysler's number for this recall is 37A. Jeep, Ram fuel pump failure could stall engine. Chrysler is recalling 45,711 of its Jeep and Ram vehicles with a 3.0L diesel engine because their high-pressure fuel pumps may fail, which can result in an engine stall and increase the risk of a crash. Recalled vehicles. 2021 to 2023 Jeep Wrangler, 11,486. 2021 to 2023 Jeep Gladiator, 7,554. 2022 to 2023 Ram 1500, 26,671. Chrysler said it is not aware of any accidents or injuries potentially related to this issue. Affected owners will begin to be notified on June 2nd. Vehicles can be taken to a dealer, which will replace the fuel pump and additional fuel system components for free. Owners can contact Chrysler customer service at 1-800-853-1403. Chrysler's number for this recall is 01A. Chevrolet Silverado trucks, brake fluid leak can increase risk of fire, park outdoors. General Motors is recalling 40,428 of its Chevrolet trucks because the brake pressure sensor assembly may leak brake fluid. The leak could cause an electrical short circuit, which can overheat the circuit and increase the risk of a fire while driving or parked. Recalled vehicles. 2019 to 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 4500 HD medium-duty truck. 2019 to 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 5500 HD medium-duty truck. 2019 to 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 6500 HD medium-duty truck. GM said it is not aware of any accidents or injuries associated with the problem and began investigating in August 2022 after a claim of 2019 Chevrolet Silverado medium-duty vehicle catching on fire. GM said affected owners will begin to be notified on May 29. Dealers will replace the master cylinder pressure sensor and inspect the wire harness and replace it for free. However, GM said there aren't sufficient parts available, so it will notify owners when parts are available. Until the remedy is completed, affected owners are advised to park outside and away from structures. Owners may contact Chevrolet customer service at 1-800-222-1020. GM's number for this recall is N222375270. Nissan, Infinity driver seat welding concerns. Nissan is recalling 12,400 of its Rogue, Pathfinder, and Infinity QX60 vehicles because the driver's powered seat may not be fully secured to the seat frame. The seat frame welds can detach from the rear inboard seat bracket, and a driver may not be properly restrained in a crash. Recalled vehicles. 2023 Nissan Rogue, 6,911. 2023 Nissan Pathfinder, 3,955. 2023 Infinity QX60, 1,528. Nissan said it will begin notifying affected owners on June 10. Owners can take their vehicle to a dealer, who will inspect the driver's seat rail clearance and replace the driver's seat cushion frame for free. Owners may contact Nissan's customer service at 1-800-867-7669. Nissan's number for this recall is PC966, PC967. 2023 Nissan Titan and Frontier may have tears in tires. Nissan is recalling 4,249 of its Titan and Frontier vehicles because the tires may have a tear in the inner bead, according to a NHTSA recall report. The tear can cause a rapid loss of tire pressure while driving, leading to a loss of control and increased risk of crash. Recalled vehicles: 2023 Nissan Titan, 529. 2023 Nissan Frontier, 3,720. The recall affects both road and spare tires. Nissan said it is not aware of any crashes or injuries related to the issue. Nissan said it would begin to notify affected owners on June 10. Owners can take their vehicle to a dealer, who will inspect and replace all 4 road tires, as well as the spare tire, for free. Owners may contact Nissan's customer service at 1-800-867-7669. Nissan's number for this recall is PC973 and PC974. Mazda vehicle's brake system could be damaged. Mazda is recalling 2,410 of its CX-30 and CX-50 models because the anti-lock brake system's hydraulic control unit may be damaged, according to a NHTSA recall report. The damaged system can result in reduced braking ability and increase the distance needed for the vehicle to stop. Recalled vehicles: 2022 to 2023 Mazda CX-30, 2,401. 2023 Mazda CX-50, 9. Mazda said affected owners will be notified no later than June 17. Dealers will inspect the brake system and repair it for free. Owners may contact Mazda customer service at 1-800-222-5500. Mazda's number for this recall is 5823D. BMW seat belt issues. BMW is recalling 1,465 of its 2023 X1 xDrive 28i and X1 M35i vehicles because seatbelts in second-row seats may have been pinched by an interior trim panel during vehicle assembly, which could cause them to not work properly. Recalled vehicles: 2023 BMW X1 xDrive 28i. 2023 BMW X1 M35i. BMW said has not received any reports of any accidents or injuries related to the issue. Affected owners will begin to be notified on June 2. Dealers will inspect and adjust interior trim panels so they don't impede seatbelt use for free. Owners may contact BMW customer service at 1-800-525-7417.
I think these recalls are important, especially these Chevy Silverado, because they said do not park in your driveway or near any structure. Advise to park outside and away from structures. And so you can wake up one morning and your vehicle be on fire. It's been near your house will be on fire. Anyway, let me go to the next one here. This from Bloomberg. China distances itself from Envoy remarks on ex-Soviet states.
Bloomberg. China sought to distance itself from remarks by its envoy to France questioning the independence of ex-Soviet states that sparked a firestorm in Europe and undercut French efforts to enlist Beijing's help in pushing for peace in Ukraine. The comments by Ambassador Liu She on LCI television were not a political declaration, but rather an expression of personal points of view and shouldn't be overinterpreted, the Chinese embassy in Paris said in a statement. Liu told the broadcaster in an interview aired on Friday that former Soviet nations don't have sovereign status as independent countries, a statement that ignored internationally recognized borders and caused anger in Europe, especially in Baltic states Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The embassy said in a statement in French on its website that China's position hasn't changed, adding that it's ready to contribute to a political solution to the war in Ukraine. China respects the status of the former Soviet republics as sovereign countries after the Soviet Union's dissolution, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said earlier on Monday at a regular press briefing in Beijing. Mao added that China has developed friendly and cooperative bilateral relations with the former Soviet nations since establishing diplomatic ties with them, adding that some media outlets are misrepresenting China's position on Ukraine, though she didn't name any. She also said the country stands by Liu.
And there's more to read on this if you want to read about it more. Let me go to the next one here. This one here is from Business Insider. Ukraine attacked Russia's main naval base in Crimea with exploding sea drones, the city's Russian governor said.
Russia says Ukrainian sea drones attacked its main naval base in Crimea on Monday morning. The Moscow-appointed governor of Sevastopol in Crimea said the attack happened at 3:30 a.m. No one was injured in the attack, and Ukrainian officials have not commented on it. The Russian governor of the largest city in Crimea says that Ukrainian forces attacked Russia's main naval base in the region using exploding sea drones on Monday morning. Mikhail Razvozev, the Moscow-appointed governor of Sevastopol in Crimea, said on Telegram Monday morning that the attack on the naval base in Sevastopol started at 3:30 a.m. He said that Russian forces destroyed one sea drone and that a second drone exploded on its own. Full screen. No one was injured in the attack, Razvozev said, adding that the incident happened in the harbor off of Sevastopol and that the drones didn't make their way into Strelitskaya Bay. He said the blast from the drone's explosion broke windows on 4 residential buildings, and he ordered Vice Governor Yevgeny Sergeyevich Gorlov to manage the damage. Now the city is quiet, Razvozev said. But all forces and services are in a state of combat readiness. Ukrainian officials have not commented on the attack, though Reuters reported that Ukraine doesn't usually claim responsibility for attacks on Sevastopol, which is internationally recognized as part of Ukraine but was annexed along with the rest of the Crimean Peninsula by Russia in 2014. Russian officials have accused Ukraine of carrying out multiple attacks on Sevastopol since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. In July, Russia claimed a drone attack on its Black Sea Fleet headquarters in Sevastopol injured 6 people. At the time, Ukraine denied responsibility for the attack.
That one there. Let me go to the next one here. Next one from USA Today. Lawsuit seeks to curb use of aerial fire retardant during wildfires over pollution concern. Everything's about pollution concern.
A federal judge on Monday will hear arguments in a Montana lawsuit that seeks to curb the U.S. Forest Service's use of aerial fire retardant to combat wildfires over concerns that it is polluting streams and rivers. The Forest Service Employees for Environmental Ethics, the Oregon-based group that filed the lawsuit, argues that dropping retardant in waterways without a permit violates the Clean Water Act and does more environmental harm than good in fighting fires. But the Forest Service says it's a critical firefighting tool. And a coalition of opponents, including a California city destroyed by wildfire, argue that limits on the use of the retardant could put more homes and forests at risk. The case is being watched because it could impact how U.S. wildfires are fought. And it comes as the 2023 fire season gets underway following years of larger and more devastating wildfires. Why is aerial wildfire retardant being challenged? The lawsuit, filed in U.S. District Court in Montana, asks that a judge issue an injunction blocking officials from using aerial retardant in waterways until they get a permit to discharge pollution as required by the Clean Water Act. One Department of Agriculture report found retardant was likely to adversely affect 32 aquatic species. More than 100 million gallons of it were used during the past decade, according to the department. Health risks to firefighters or other people who come into contact with fire retardant are considered low, according to a 2021 risk assessment commissioned by the Forest Service. Fire officials in recent years have avoided drops inside buffer zones within 300 feet of waterways to minimize pollution. The Forest Service said in court filings that while retardant has been dropped into waterways more than 200 times over the past decade, it usually happens by mistake and in less than 1% of the thousands of drops annually. And the agency said the environmental damage from fires can exceed the pollution from retardant. Why will the suit impact how fires are fought? The Forest Service has asked the Environmental Protection Agency to issue a permit allowing it to drop retardant into water under certain conditions. But the process is expected to take more than 2 years.
If they get a permit or not, they get a permit and they use it, don't get a permit and they use it, what's the difference? It's just the government wants to charge money, make money. That's what it is. Every time you get a permit, it's the government making money, any kind of government entity. Going to the next one here. This is from Bloomberg. U.S. sanctions 2 as North Korea-linked hackers flourish.
Bloomberg, the U.S. sanctioned 2 people in a new bid to constrict the Lazarus Group hacking collective, with recent data suggesting the North Korea-linked cryptocurrency thieves are more active than ever. The Treasury Department sanctioned a China-based virtual currency trader, Wu Huihui, for allegedly helping North Koreans working with Lazarus to convert their digital currency into cash. Another Hong Kong-based currency trader, Chang Hungman, was sanctioned for allegedly helping Wu. North Korea continues to exploit virtual currency and extensive illicit facilitation networks to access the international financial system and generate revenue for the regime, Treasury Undersecretary Brian Nelson said Monday in a statement. North Korea and the Lazarus Group have defied repeated efforts by the U.S. and allies around the world to restrict their activity. North Korea-linked hackers, including the Lazarus Group, stole an estimated $1.7 billion in 2022, more than quadruple the 2021 figure, according to blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis Inc.
Okay, there's just a little bit more to read on that if you want to read it. I'm going to the next one here now. Okay, this one here is from Business Insider. Soldiers in Ukraine report using everything from nearby dead animals, fiberglass rods, and ropes and hooks to identify and detonate Russian landmines.
Soldiers in Ukraine rely on creative tools to identify and detonate Russian landmines. Troops told the New York Times those tools included dead animals, fiberglass rods, ropes, and hooks. Russian landmines could pose a long-term threat to Ukrainian civilians. Ukrainian soldiers are using a variety of tools, from conventional to creative, in order to identify and detonate Russian landmines. Troops have relied on nearby dead animals to locate booby traps, while fiberglass rods have come in handy for electrically triggered mines, according to the New York Times. For trickier explosives, mine specialists will take atypical approaches to detonation, including using a rope and grappling hook to snare trip wires from a distance. The latter is especially important for explosives like the Claymore mine, which is designed to spray shrapnel at a wide range to hit and kill anyone nearby. Everybody within 25 meters is guaranteed to die, a Ukrainian lieutenant told the Times. Landmines are a favorite tactic of the Russian military, which has planted thousands of landmines from its vast arsenal across Ukraine, resulting in hundreds of military and civilian casualties, according to Ukrainian officials, BBC News reported. The full range of explosives might be unimaginable. The UN estimates that an area 4 times as large as Switzerland is now potentially unsafe, the Times reported.
And that's all I got for you right here. Going to the next one here. This one here says, this from Business Insider. Russia is using a new delivery of Iran's Shahed drones to strike Ukraine to make up for a lack of precision munition, the report says.
Russia used Iranian Shahid exploding drones to strike Ukraine, an ISW report said. It is aiming to offset the degradation of its precision munition supply, the think tank said. The Russian military used drones to target Kiev for the first time in 25 days. Russian forces are using Iranian-made Shahid drones and other lower precision systems to strike Ukraine, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said in a recent assessment of the war in Ukraine. The Russian military, which recently targeted Ukraine's capital city Kiev with the deadly drones for the first time in 25 days on Friday, is using the drones to offset the degradation of Russia's precision munition supply, the ISW said in the report. The Kiev City Military Administration reported no damage from the attacks.
Read on this if you want to read it. Let's see how many more I got to go here. Take that one off.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad there's no control in me. My thoughts get so bad I'm like, I might grab a bat.
So we'll start with this one here. US this from USA Today. Girls need to know about their periods. Now Florida Republicans want to ban that too.
Do Florida legislators really want to ban girls in elementary schools from asking questions or speaking about their period in school? We often daydream about returning to sunny Florida, where we were born and had our early education, to lie on the beach and eat ocean-washed mangoes. But with some of the draconian laws Governor Ron DeSantis has been signing, we're having second thoughts about returning to our aunties and cousins in what we used to call the best state in the union. In our work with Women in Training Incorporated to end period poverty, we have comforted frightened girls, as young as 6, who started their period and need help understanding this bodily change. Furthermore, young girls often lack sanitary pads and need to ask a teacher for help.
Stop it there. You can read the rest of this if you want. I didn't know it started at age of 6. I heard horror stories for ages. Kids, 12, 14-year-olds start bleeding and didn't know why because the parents didn't tell them about the periods, and they thought they were dying, I think it should be taught to the girls, even in school. Anyway, and I am a Republican. Let me go to the next one here. This will be my last one. They're from USA Today. Babies without sex. Researchers are working on it. Ethics are in trouble. Ethics. What it says here.
Scientists are getting closer to the possibility of making a new person from skin or blood cells, without the need for sex. This approach goes well beyond in vitro fertilization, which combines egg and sperm in a test tube, because it doesn't require natural eggs or sperm. Called in vitro gametogenesis, or IVG, it promises to someday provide a cure for many types of infertility, to slow or even turn off biological clocks, and to enable the kind of embryo selection that sends chills up many spines. Start the day. In a 3-day meeting last week at the National Academies of Sciences, researchers eagerly discussed their work, advocates laid out their vision for making IVG useful, and ethicists squirmed in their seats. The search for a perfect race, perfect baby, perfect generation is not science fiction, Amrita Pandey, a sociologist at the University of Cape Town in South Africa, told the group Thursday. The technology for making babies from cells other than eggs and sperm still remains a decade away or more. But now, before the science turns possibility into reality, is a good time for the public to consider the implications of IVG, said Glenn Cohen, an expert on the intersection of law and bioethics at Harvard Law School.
If you want to read the rest of it, the link will be in my description box. I'm going over my time now. And I heard about this years ago, test tube babies, and now they're talking about it again. And, it's just like one of my news about lab room, the lab meat that they're making. where we don't need no cows or anything, or pigs. It's just ridiculous is what it is. And what I forgot to mention about my first one here is that all this started with the Democrats and Biden. All right. Back then, the Democrats and Biden was in control. Well, the Democrats is losing control, and Biden is going to be out. So he should have been out a long time ago. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Like, subscribe, comment. Please comment, and let me know what you think. And I thank you for watching. Until next time.